When you start PhD, it is important for you to ask yourself these 5 questions which I have listed here to get clarity, and this will help you to make a plan for next few years of your life. And in this video, we will see why these 5 questions are important for you. So let's get started after a short break. Hello and welcome to my channel. My name is Tahir, and if this is your first time, please hit the subscribe button and also the notification bell to get notified whenever I post a new video on this channel every Tuesday and Friday. So the first question is, why are you doing PhD? It is important to ask yourself this question because you might be doing a PhD to get a university position in your own university or in any university in your country or in any other country. Or you might be doing a PhD to get an industrial position in any R&D organization. So this is another option. Or you might be doing PhD just to get eligible for immigration, as many students do in Australia. This is the only purpose they are doing PhD. They want to show that they have completed 4 years of education and now they are eligible for immigration. So your purpose must be very clear in your mind. And you should be very honest with you because you cannot lie to yourself. When we discuss other 4 questions, you will understand that why answering the first question is very important and how it can change your game plan and all the course of activities which you will be doing in next 4 or 5 years. So when you are answering this question, you should be more descriptive, such as I want to get an assistant professor position in Australia, or I want to get a market research position in this company. Now the second question is, where do you see yourself in 10 years from now? This is a common question which you will be asked in interviews, but here we are not talking about how to answer this question in an interview. We are talking about that how you should answer this question as a PhD student. Now, there are few important points for you. The first thing you should understand in this context is why this question is important and why 10 years. Normally, this question is asked for 5 years, not 10 years. Because I am assuming that if you are watching this video, you are in the beginning of your PhD. So therefore, I have added 5 years for the PhD and 5 years later on. The later period is more important for you to focus right now. Now, why this question is important? This question is very important because it will show you how much commitment is required on your part. The answer to this, how much, will come in the next question. Now, there are 3 very important things you should understand in regards to answering this question. The first thing is that I have noticed that most PhD students, they think that doing a postdoc is the only option they have, or going to the academia, because postdoc is normally a part of academia. So they think that only postdoc or in an academic position is the option, there is no other option. While in my opinion, at the moment, the industrial jobs are more lucrative and profitable for PhD students, because the universities are not in a good condition. And this is because of many reasons. Because the universities are not very popular anymore. The culture in universities is not very respectable anymore. And there are reasons for this. Because universities have not done what they should be doing. They have no industrial links. And they cannot get any projects for their students. They don't even tell their students how they can get a job. And in countries like Australia, degree means absolutely nothing. You need skill to get job. Your degree means absolutely nothing for you. Nobody asks you to show the degree in Australia. Nobody cares what degree you have. So due to all this situation, students are losing interest in universities. Universities are getting less funding from government now. So they are under pressure. And this pressure is being transferred to all the employees, the professors, the lecturers, and all of these people. So there are more profitable and lucrative jobs for PhD students in the industrial sector. I will make a separate video about what are other alternatives for PhD students other than postdoc or academia. But quickly, just to show you a quick hint, that if you look in Seek or any other job seeking website, just look for 3 keywords and add these 3 keywords to your own field and you will find some industry jobs. The keywords which you should be using are analyst, research and specialist. So add these 3 keywords to your area and you will get some industrial positions as well. But I will make a separate video for that. The point here is that when you try to write down where do you see yourself in 10 years time, you should understand that there is not only one option. There are many options. Now the second important point is that you must understand the progression of the career in any field, whether in academia or in industry. If you are interested in academia, you must understand what are different position types. What is a tenured track position, what is an adjunct position, and what is a postdoctoral fellow position, and what are their duties and assignments, and what are the differences between all these positions. So you should understand this very clearly. Similarly, if you are going for an industry, what are the different positions, for example, analyst, research, or specialist positions. So what are the differences in these kind of areas? So how the career is progressing in industry or in academia, you must understand the difference. You must understand all the positions. So this is the second important point. Now the third important point is that if you decide today that you are going to be a market research officer in this company, and you have done some research and you found that this is a very lucrative position, but this may not stay the same in 10 years time. So therefore, the third point is also very important, that you must pay attention to changing trends. What trends are changing? Are there any better opportunities coming? Or some good opportunities are going down? So this is what you should keep in mind as well. Now let's talk about your target impact factor. Your impact factor is a number which represents your quality of research. It depends on your articles in journals. Every journal has an impact factor which changes with time, and I have explained this in my other video, and I will put a link at the end of this video. You can watch those videos. There is a playlist about PhD videos, and you can understand how to find the top researchers in your field and these kind of things. So every researcher has an impact factor, and based on that impact factor, somebody can easily see what type of researcher this is. And it looks very straightforward. For example, if you are looking for a position in a university, and what you can do is you can see anyone who has recently got a job in that university, and then you can see what is the impact factor of that person. It looks very straightforward, and then you can make that impact factor as your target during your PhD and afterwards, so that you can get a job in that particular university. For example, if someone has got a job as an associate professor with an impact factor of 20, so you can target roughly that factor. But having said that, this is not very simple. Do you know that most of the university jobs, they are already filled before they even advertise? The job is advertised only to accommodate someone in that position who is working there as a postdoctorate fellow or as a PhD student or something like that, and the professor or someone, when they get some funding, they create a job and they adjust that person in that. So it's not very simple. But there are universities who require good researchers, so don't lose hope and always be positive and optimistic, because there are always opportunities available. So this is how you can target which university is your target university to get a job. Then look for someone who got a position there and see his impact factor or her impact factor. It's very easy to check the impact factor of any scientist, and I have already explained this topic. But the last thing I would like to mention in this point is that you must be targeting a reasonable impact factor. Those times have gone long ago where people were able to get a university job with zero impact factor. I know people in my country of origin, Pakistan, and in Australia, who have zero impact factors, but they got their jobs 20 years ago. Now, if you want to get a job, you must have an impact factor. And writing 2 or 3 publications during PhD is not enough. And writing any conference paper is absolutely useless. Always write journal papers. Now, the next point is what you would do for not to rely on anyone. Now, the first thing you should understand is asking for help is different than relying on someone. If you think that some professor likes you, you can ask for a reference letter. That would be okay. But if you rely on that professor, that he will give you a certain position, that is wrong, absolutely wrong. Now, the matter of the fact is, you should realize that in this world, we are alone. Our parents love us, our relatives and friends love us, they are willing to help us, but they don't have ability to help us. They are not able to sometimes give us any help in our professional lives. And the second thing, even if they do, we might not be in their priorities. So it's a very complicated world. So in order to get this self-reliance, what you can do is you can improve your personal attributes. You can improve your communication skills, your positivity, become optimistic. And instead, you should learn how to stand out of the crowd, how to become prominent or visible to someone. So this is a very big topic and cannot be covered in this. But these are some of the points you should keep in mind. Now, the last point is what would you do to stay focused on these 4 points which we have discussed. Now, in order to stay focused, the best thing is to make a plan. Make a plan of your next few years. For example, if you are targeting a certain impact factor, then how many papers you need, what are your target journals, what are your experiments you have to do, how will you get those publications. So these are some of the activities you should write in your plan. You can use a diary. For example, Digit Idea Diary 1. If you search this, you will find a diary which can help you, which I have designed for PhD students. The next thing is that you try to find out what are some of the distractions which can destroy your focus. And once you have listed those distractions, then try to minimize those. And the last point I would like to mention here that you should use technology. There are many apps available which can help you to stop wasting your time. The app will give you a certain alarm or something so that you can stop wasting your lot of time on just browsing on the internet and these kind of things. So use this technology to stay focused on what you are doing and get your objectives. So that is it for this video. Students are asking a lot of questions, sending emails. So therefore I decided to make a live session once in every month. And if you have any questions, please put yes in the comments so that I can see how many people are there to ask questions, because when I am doing live session, I want some questions to answer because otherwise it will be a waste of time. So if you think that I should be doing some live session to answer your questions, please put in the comment just the word yes. Don't put no because no is obvious. So anyway, I hope that you like this video. If so, please give it a thumbs up. Thanks for watching and see you next time.